The Iceberg Lake Trail is a popular day hike in the mini glacier area. It's a moderately easy hike of 9.4 miles with only 1,200 feet of elevation gain. It features nice views of the surrounding valley, a small waterfall, and it ends at Iceberg Lake, which is surrounded on three sides by 3,000-foot cliffs. The trailhead is behind the Swift Current Motor Inn. The trail begins with a steep 200-plus foot climb until it meets the main trail. Take it to the left. You're now high enough to see the surrounding valley and its prime bear habitat. The trail climbs gradually, occasionally traversing a grove of trees. But most of the time, you're above the trees, where there's nothing to obstruct the views of the valley. When entering a grove, it's particularly important to make noise as a standard bear precaution. This was the first day the trail was opened, after weeks of closure due to bear activity. This is bear scat. It's proof that the bear threat is real. It takes less than an hour and a half to walk the 2.5 miles with 700 feet of elevation gain to Tarbingen Falls. They aren't much to look at when the water is low, as it was on this day. But there are plenty of places to sit and to take a breather. It's a great place to get to know your fellow hikers. This couple is from Massachusetts. They wanted to see some wildlife.
Where Susie finally got to see a grizzly. That was her goal. She wanted to see a grizzly.
From a distance,
we wanted to see them from a distance. That's right, not up close and personal.
They didn't know it, but very soon they would see another. And this time, it wouldn't be from a distance. After the falls, the trail is in the trees. Soon you come to an intersection. The trail to the right rises another 1,700 feet to the Tarbingen Tunnel and the amazing view on the other side. The trail to the lake goes straight. A few minutes later, I saw a group heading back down the trail. I recognized many of them from the picnic area at the falls. Why were they heading this way so rapidly? Some were nervously smiling, but nobody would stop their retreat to tell me. Soon I joined the retreat. Eventually, I did learn that a mama bear and 2 cubs were also using the trail. One hiker took these pictures and some video with a little point-and-shoot camera. Usually, bears will try to avoid humans. These blocked the trail and headed towards them. They got quite close. This is potentially a very dangerous situation. They were very lucky. The mama was only interested in teaching her kids how to find and eat berries. I and others had bear spray, but none of us wanted to have to use it. After several minutes of backtracking, we saw another group coming. The lady in orange is a trail tour guide, leading a group from the Boston area. We all felt that she knew best how to handle the situation. Then someone came up and said he saw the bears leave the trail and go up the hill. So we decided we could continue, but we did so as one large group. There is safety in numbers. Secretly, I'm sure all of us were checking out the others in the group, trying to determine who was the slowest, while at the same time hoping that an old joke wouldn't come true. 15 minutes later, in a clearing, one hiker showed us her photos of the bear. She was quite close to it. I've seen what happens when a bear attacks, on this very trail, and it's not pretty. The victim I saw in 1994 struggled down the trail, covered in blood. This witness explains what he saw.
I saw him. He has a deep laceration on the top of his head, one across the chest and one on the back.
It would have taken the victim 3 or 4 hours to get to the nearest hospital by car, and by then it might be too late. So a helicopter was called. In the next week, he had to endure 4 operations, but he did survive. Youthful enthusiasm can be nothing more than naivete. This time, we were lucky, but the danger was real, and the trail was again closed the next day. The trail continues to rise very gently, and it never feels like you're climbing, until the last little bit just before the lake. The trail then descends to the lake. Including rest stops, it took about 3.5 hours to get here. The icebergs that gave the lake its name are long gone, but it's still an amazing sight. The lake is surrounded on 3 sides by 3,000-foot cliffs. Numerous rocks provide plenty of space for even our large group to spread out and enjoy the quiet of the place. I stayed for about an hour, taking photos and fending off squirrels. We again grouped up for the hike down. It took less than 2.5 hours. Recently, rules have changed to allow the carriage of handguns on the trails. One of our group had one, and I was glad for it. The Iceburg Trail is a popular day hike because it's an easy 9+ mile stroll. It's a great first day hike before taking on something a little more challenging. It offers a wonderful view of an alpine valley, and of course the amazing one-of-a-kind Iceberg Lake.